Get out. This house is ours now. Amanda's voice rang through the hallway where I had grown up. Mom's pictures were still on the walls, and I stood there, still wearing my black funeral dress, struggling to believe how fast everything had fallen apart. My name is Olivia Parker, and less than a day after burying my mother, my sister-in-law was trying to kick me out of my childhood home. "You can't do this," I said, my voice shaking. "I live here. I took care of Mom for 3 years while you and Marcus never even visited." Amanda smirked. "Actually, we can. Marcus is the oldest, so everything goes to him now. That's just how it works." I turned to my brother, who stood silently behind her. Marcus had always been the successful one, the golden child who moved away and married well. Meanwhile, I had stayed, putting my life on hold to care for Mom. "Marcus," I pleaded, "you can't let her do this. This is our home." He avoided my eyes, shifting uncomfortably. "Amanda's right, Liv. Mom's gone now, and we have plans for the house." "Plans?" My stomach sank. "What kind of plans?" Amanda's eyes gleamed. "We're selling it, of course. The property value is high. We'll make a fortune." I couldn't believe it. This wasn't just a house, it was filled with memories. The kitchen where Mom taught me to bake, the backyard where Dad built our treehouse, the living room where we spent every Christmas together before Marcus left. "You have until tomorrow evening," Amanda said, glancing at her watch. "Take your things and leave. Whatever's left is ours." "The will hasn't even been read yet," I protested. Amanda sighed, faking sympathy. "Oh, sweetheart, do you really think your mother left anything to you? You never even had a real job. You just stayed here while Marcus built a successful life." The truth was, I had paused my graphic design career to care for Mom. I worked remotely so I could be there for her, but Amanda saw it as a failure. "The will is being read tomorrow morning," I said firmly. "I'm not leaving until then." Amanda's smile faded. "Fine, enjoy your last night here, but when the will proves what we all know, I want you gone." As they walked away, I heard Amanda whisper to Marcus, "Finally, we can get rid of her and sell this place." That night, I sat in Mom's room, surrounded by her things. Her scent still lingered. Memories flooded my mind. Our late-night talks, the way she squeezed my hand when she was in pain, how she loved me reading to her every evening. "I'm sorry, honey," she had said one night, "that you put your life on hold for me." "Mom, no," I had told her. "You're my life too." She had smiled, a knowing smile I hadn't understood until I found the letter hidden in her favorite book. I pulled it out and read it again. "My dearest Olivia, your brother only cares about money, just like his wife. But you, my sweet girl, see what really matters. You stayed when others left. You gave when others took. Remember that tomorrow, when Mr. Sullivan reads the will. A mother knows her children's true hearts. All my love, Mom." I carefully folded the letter and put it away. Tomorrow would change everything, but not in the way Amanda and Marcus expected. Let them think they had won. Let them believe they could push me out. Tomorrow, they would learn the truth. As I got ready for bed, I heard them outside, already measuring rooms and planning renovations, just like at the funeral when they thought no one could hear them talking about selling the house. "Just a few more hours," Amanda said smugly, "and we'll never have to deal with her again." If only they knew what was coming. The next morning was bright and clear, but the air was thick with tension. I arrived early at Mr. Sullivan's office, gripping my coffee like a lifeline. Amanda and Marcus walked in 15 minutes late, dressed like they were going to a business meeting instead of a will reading. "Let's get this over with," Amanda said, sitting down. "We have a realtor coming to see the house this afternoon." Mr. Sullivan, my mother's lawyer and longtime friend, adjusted his glasses and looked at them. His face gave nothing away, but I noticed how carefully he arranged the papers in front of him. "Before we start," he said, "I want to mention that Sarah, your mother, made important changes to her will 3 months ago." Marcus frowned. "Changes? What kind of changes?" Mr. Sullivan didn't answer directly. Instead, he opened the folder and began to read. "I, Sarah Elizabeth Parker, being of sound mind, declare this to be my last will and testament." Amanda tapped her fingers impatiently as he read through the legal details. Then came the part they were waiting for. "Regarding my home and everything in it," Mr. Sullivan said, pausing to meet their eyes, "I leave it entirely to my daughter, Olivia Parker." Silence filled the room. "What?" Amanda's voice cracked. That's impossible. Mr. Sullivan continued as if she hadn't spoken. To my son Marcus and his wife Amanda, I leave $1,000 along with this message. The time you didn't spend with me in life shouldn't be rewarded in death. Marcus turned pale. This has to be a mistake. Mom wouldn't. Additionally, Mr. Sullivan went on, I leave my entire savings and investments to Olivia Parker in recognition of her love and care during my illness. Amanda jumped to her feet. This is outrageous. She must have pressured Sarah into this when she was sick. We'll fight it. Mr. Sullivan remained calm. I expected this reaction. Here is a video of Sarah explaining her decisions, completely aware and in control. Would you like to watch it? Amanda's face twisted with anger. You planned this, she spat at me. You turned her against us. I took a slow sip of my coffee, keeping my voice steady. No, Amanda. You did that yourselves. Every missed holiday, every ignored phone call, every excuse not to visit, Mom noticed. She saw everything. Mr. Sullivan, Marcus started, his voice unsteady. Isn't there anything we can do? There's more, Mr. Sullivan said. Sarah left personal letters for each of you. He handed them their envelopes. I already knew what mine said. Mom had shared it with me during one of our late-night talks. But watching Amanda and Marcus read theirs, I saw the realization hit them like a slap. Marcus sank into his chair, his hands shaking. Amanda just stared at her letter, speechless for once. The realtor, she muttered. We need to cancel. Yes, I said quietly, you do. And you need to move your things out of my house by tomorrow evening. The irony wasn't lost on anyone. Mr. Sullivan cleared his throat. Everything is in order. Olivia, I'll need you to stay and sign a few documents. Amanda stormed out, Marcus following behind her. Through the window, I watched them arguing in the parking lot, their gestures frantic. Your mother was very proud of you, Mr. Sullivan said softly. She knew exactly what she was doing. I nodded, thinking of all the moments Mom and I had shared, of the quiet wisdom she had passed on to me. She knew them better than they knew themselves, I murmured. And she knew this day would come. As I signed the final papers, I felt lighter. Mom had made sure our home stayed with the person who truly cared about it. Amanda's dreams of selling it were over. Walking to my car, I heard Amanda's voice echo across the parking lot. This isn't over. But it was. Mom had made sure of that. And as I drove home, to my home, I smiled. Justice doesn't always come with a fight. Sometimes it comes with a mother's quiet strength and a will that says everything. The weeks after the will reading brought changes I never saw coming. The first surprise came one evening when Marcus showed up alone at my door. He didn't look like the confident businessman Amanda had shaped him into. He looked like my little brother again. Can we talk? He asked, shifting awkwardly, just like he used to when we were kids and he'd broken something of mine. I let him in, watching as he took in the house. Mom's touch was still everywhere, mixed with my own. Nothing like the sleek, modern space Amanda had planned to turn it into. I found these, he said, pulling out a stack of old photos from his jacket. From before everything. The pictures showed us as kids, playing in the backyard while Mom watched from the porch with her warm smile. Back when Marcus was just my goofy little brother, before Amanda convinced him that success meant leaving his past behind. I'm sorry, Liv, he said, his voice cracking. Mom's letter. She wrote about how you took care of her. How you read to her every night even after working all day. How you never complained, even when he swallowed hard. She loved you, Marcus, I said gently. She was just disappointed in your choices. He nodded, wiping his eyes. Amanda and I are separating. After the will reading, I started seeing things differently. How she always pushed me to put money over family. You don't have to explain, I interrupted. Mom always said people revealed their true selves eventually. The second surprise came a week later. Amanda tried to fight the will, but the video Mr. Sullivan had mentioned surfaced. In it, Mom spoke clearly and confidently, explaining her choices. My daughter Olivia understands that a home is more than just walls and a roof, she said. It's where memories live, where love grows. Amanda and Marcus see only dollar signs. They'll learn too late perhaps that some things can't be measured in money. The video spread quickly in our small town. Amanda's perfect reputation crumbled. Many of her real estate clients had known Mom, and after seeing the video, They wanted nothing to do with her. I focused on moving forward. I turned Mom's old sewing room into my graphic design studio and started taking on more clients, rebuilding my career on my own terms. Marcus started coming over for Sunday dinners, just like we used to when we were kids. Sometimes we'd sit in the garden Mom loved so much, remembering stories we'd almost forgotten. I could see the real Marcus coming back, the one Amanda had buried under expectations and ambition. You know what I remember most? He said one evening, Mom always said karma doesn't need an audience. She just sits back and waits for the right moment. I smiled. Mom had been right. Amanda had rushed to sell the house, dismissing the years I had spent caring for Mom. And in the end, it had all backfired. 3 months after the will reading, I got a letter from Amanda's lawyer. She was officially giving up any claims to the house. Marcus told me she had moved to another state, trying to rebuild her image somewhere people didn't know the truth. That evening, I sat in Mom's favorite chair, flipping through her old photo albums. Inside, I found a note in her elegant handwriting. Sometimes the greatest gift we can give our children is the chance to show who they truly are. Watch, wait, and trust that truth will always surface in its own time. I ran my fingers over the words, feeling closer to her than ever. She hadn't just left me a house. She had given me the chance to rebuild my life, my relationship with my brother, and the peace of knowing I had honored her in the way she had hoped. The house remains unchanged, a testament to Mom's love and wisdom. Marcus visits often, helping me tend the garden she cherished. And sometimes, when I sit on the porch where she used to watch us play, I can almost feel her smile. She had always known what Amanda never understood. The true value of a home isn't in its price, but in the love it holds and the memories it keeps safe. And in the end, that was worth more than anything.